Allison, can you explain what internet is?
Got to tell us before we look at this video, what is an internet?
The one thing that's missing, but that will soon be developed, is a reliable e-cash, a method whereby on the internet you can transfer funds from A to B without A knowing B or B knowing A.
Yeah, help us explain. So, let's start with that, Ian. Then you're the investor here. Can you explain it simply for us what it is, what cryptocurrencies are?
Welcome to the future. This video is for bitFORTUNE investors. There's two main parts to this video. The first one is that there is a bull run on the horizon for the cryptocurrency market, and the second one is how you may take advantage of this opportunity with bitFORTUNE project. It's easy to get started with bitFORTUNE. The first thing that you want to do if you're a United States citizen is to set up a Gemini account or a Coinbase account. With these accounts, you may link your bank account and purchase Bitcoin. These two exchanges here are the largest exchanges for United States citizens. These exchanges are regulated and trusted by the community. The next thing, once you buy your Bitcoin on Gemini or Coinbase, is that you will come over to bitfortune.fund and click on this link here, exchange, and this will bring you over to the BitShares exchange. Over here on the BitShares exchange, you can deposit Bitcoin and purchase bitFORTUNE coins with Bitcoin. You can see here that bitFORTUNE coin is paired with Bitcoin. If you navigate on the bitfortune.fund website and go to the invest page, it will explain exactly how to set up your BitShares account step by step. And also keep in mind that the BitShares exchange is a decentralized exchange. It was created by Dan Larimer, a brilliant man in cryptocurrency space who also created EOS and Steam projects. And this decentralized exchange cannot be shut down apart from the internet. Your account cannot be hacked. Your account cannot be seized. Your account cannot be disrupted in any way, shape, or form by external entities. Cashing out of bitFORTUNE is just as easy. You come over to the BitShares exchange and place a sell order for your bitFORTUNE tokens to get Bitcoin, and then you could transfer your Bitcoin back over to your Gemini or Coinbase account and deposit that USD into your bank account. In the clips at the start of this video, people were asking in the early 1990s, what is the internet? We're seeing a similar phenomenon with cryptocurrency. As you can see in this graph, the potential here. If you're watching this video, you're in a small subset of people that is hearing this message right now. It's if you actually invest in cryptocurrency, you are going to join a very small percentage of people on Earth that is estimated to be less than 0.5% of the population of the Earth that is invested in cryptocurrency right now. We have a saying on the bitFORTUNE website, and I would like to read it. In time, there will be two types of people: those who got into cryptocurrency during its early evolution and those who didn't. It is speculated here that there will be a redistribution of wealth in society. If you are reading this, you are one of those who got in. I suspect in the next decade, as people are going about their business, that they are going to start to encounter cryptocurrency here and cryptocurrency there, and eventually everyone is going to be involved in some way, shape, or form. This over here is backed. There's a company called ICE that owns the New York Stock Exchange. They are coming out with a company, well, not coming out, they have a company called Backed. And the purpose of Backed is to allow institutional investors to invest in cryptocurrency, and this is pending SEC CFTC regulation to actually launch, I believe, right now. But this is all to say that Wall Street is looking at this. Starbucks is looking to use Bitcoin as a payment method for your latte or your coffee at Starbucks. IBM is partnered with Stellar Lumens and also multiple banks that is coming out with payment solutions with the Stellar network. Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, is urging government to complete their regulations soon, and I believe it's because they want to get into cryptocurrency. Regulation is extremely slow, and I think he's saying here, pick up the pace, we need to get in. This over here is the Lightning Network. So this one is to say that the fundamentals of cryptocurrency is improving. This is called the Lightning Network. This was been being developed in the past year, maybe a little bit longer. It's a protocol built on top of the Bitcoin blockchain that allows instantaneous payments with Bitcoin with just about negligible fees in the Satoshis. It's fractions of a cent to send a transaction with Bitcoin. Over here we have the United States SEC is hiring a cryptocurrency specialist to help with regulations. I suspect that the SEC is extremely busy, but they have room to put cryptocurrency on the to-do list. Perhaps it should be on yours as well. Over here we have Facebook trying to get into the game with their own coin. Now, this is a stable coin that is supposedly pegged to other basket of fiat currencies. But anyways, Facebook is looking at cryptocurrency. We have JP Morgan Bank, probably one of the largest financial institutions on the planet, that is looking at cryptocurrency. Over here we have Twitter. You can now send Bitcoin tips over on Twitter. Over here we have Donald Trump, who is, it's obviously a joke, but Donald Trump tweeting that he's Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin, who it's widely known that no one knows who Satoshi Nakamoto is. But the point here is that, Trump, Putin, they know about cryptocurrency. I'm sure they have a lot to think about. Over here, I wanted to point out the inflation rate of fiat currency. This is another thing that is driving people into cryptocurrency. This is not so much a problem in the United States and Europe right now. If you study fractional reserve banking, that is our banking system, you'll come to realize that it leads to hyperinflation, which will wipe out savings accounts, wipe out trillions of dollars of money on paper, etc. So you can see here Russia, almost the entire continent of Africa, almost the entire continent of South America, Mexico, a lot of Asian countries are getting ravaged by inflation and hyperinflation, where the value of their fiat currency is worth literally nothing. It's proven that these countries suffering from hyperinflation are coming into cryptocurrency. And over here we have multiple countries, not just Argentina, but we have multiple countries that are coming out with their own cryptocurrency for the entire country. I think Argentina is doing this. There's other small countries that are starting to do this. So I can go on and on with the bullish news. There's bullish news everywhere. You can see this is 2019, this year. There's another bull market on the horizon. The graph you're looking at right now is the graph of Bitcoin on the weekly chart. It goes back to 2011 up to the present. And these lines here, these green lines on the graph are the Bitcoin halvenings. And there's one coming up in approximately 1 year. The blue lines here is approximately 1 year before the halvening. Now, what the halvening is, miners support the Bitcoin network. When a Bitcoin transaction is executed, there's a miner somewhere running a computer that performs mathematical equations to validate the transaction. This is a layman's summary. Now, the miner is rewarded with new Bitcoins minted into circulation for supporting the network and validating the transaction. It's called the mining reward. The mining reward prior to November 2012 was 50 Bitcoins per block. Approximately every 4 years, the mining reward gets cut in half. So it was 50 Bitcoins per block. After November 12th, that it went to 25 Bitcoins per block. 4 years later, July 2016, the mining reward was cut in half again from 25 Bitcoins to what it presently is right now, 12.5 Bitcoins. Next year, in May 2020, the mining reward is going to get cut in half again. It's approximately every 200,000 blocks, happens every 4 years. Will be 6.25 Bitcoins per block. There's multiple bull runs that has happened, and what seems to be the catalyst is the Bitcoin mining reward getting cut in half. Now you can see that it starts approximately 1 year prior to the Bitcoin halvening. Here in November 2011, we could see that the market had a bit of a consolidation period where it was going sideways, and then it started to go up. The halvening occurred, and you could see the parabolic blast off. This is definitely a bull run right here. Then we hit a bear. This period right here is a bear market, where a correction phase happened after this bull run, and that was followed by another consolidation period, meaning that the market is essentially moving sideways. Then, approximately 1 year prior to the next halvening, we could see that we started to see steady growth. Then when the halvening occurred, shortly thereafter, you could see that this is the last bull run in crypto right here, where Bitcoin went all the way to $20,000 a Bitcoin. Then the bear market again. Right now, we are essentially moving sideways. We've had some decent growth in the past few months, but we're essentially moving sideways. Now, what is happening is Bitcoin's a deflationary currency. So the miners, they have costs. They have to pay rent. They have to pay electricity. They probably may have to pay staff. These operations are huge. They're huge warehouses full of computers. They have expenses. They have to sell a certain amount of Bitcoin into the market to cover their costs, is what I'm suspecting here. Now, when that suddenly gets cut in half, now they're supporting the entire Bitcoin network. So they cannot sell. If they were getting 25 Bitcoins a block and all this, or I'm sorry, 12 and a half Bitcoins per block, and all of a sudden they're getting 6.25 Bitcoins per block, that cuts their income in half. So naturally, they have to sell at a higher price to cover their expenses. Now that is the primary catalyst. Now that leads to other events. So then Bitcoin starts going up. That causes people to FOMO into the market, fear of missing out, and they start buying, and that drives it in even more. Around here, you start hearing about, millionaires are starting to be created up in here in these bull markets, and you hear about them. And then finally you get the worst people to the worst time to FOMO in for this final parabolic spike here at the end, followed by the bear market, the correction, where it's way overvalued. It starts getting sold off. there's a ton of other catalysts out there. All of that bullish news. There's bullish news everywhere. We can see from the graph here that when is the best time to buy into this market? Okay, if we look at this bull run here, it's obvious the best time to buy into this market is approximately 1 year before this halvening occurred. Now, these parabolic spikes here, these happen in a short time. This is a weekly chart. This happened in about 2 months right here. This blast off right here. This whole thing right here, it happened over just a few months. If you're not right there, if you're waiting for an event to trigger you in, by the time you hear the event, you missed it. We could see from this bull run over here, the best time to buy in would be smart money coming in right here at the bottom right here in this consolidation phase. If we look at the second bull market here, once again, it's right after the bear market during this consolidation phase. This is smart money coming in right here, right before the bull market. Now, look where we are over here. We are in the consolidation phase right here. The smartest money is going to come in right now, all the way up until the halvening. I won't wait much longer. There's a lot of theories out here what's going to happen next. This is my theory. This is the 4-year cycle theory. There's many other theories. There's the Elliott wave theory. There's a hyperwave theory. There's theories everywhere of what's going to happen next. One thing, I study this market obsessively. I've been studying this market for 4 years. One thing that seems, for every theory that I've seen, there's one thing in agreement with all of them. This thing is going up, way up. The predictions here is that we're going to see something like a $100,000 to $300,000 Bitcoin. Bitcoin's not the whole story. There's about 2,000 cryptocurrencies. Now, this is good. This is a competitive market. It's not a monopoly like fiat currency. This is a competitive market. If you study economics, you'll know that a competitive market is good for the consumer. You know, if you don't want to use Bitcoin, you can use Ethereum. If you don't like Ethereum, you can use Ripple. If you don't like Ripple, you can use Bitcoin Cash. Well, right now, for fiat currency, if you don't like United States dollar, well, prior to Bitcoin, if you didn't like United States dollar, there was no other option. Well, you have options now. You have about 2,000 options to make a payment right now. So it's good for the consumer. Now, if any of these projects want to be successful, they have to be competitive, and that is good for the consumer. Bitcoin holds 52% dominance of this market. That means that Bitcoin holds half of this market. The other half, now when this happens, Bitcoin is the catalyst. Now the entire market is coming along for the ride. So Bitcoin's not the whole story. Some of these other projects will certainly be successful and have longevity. So, you know, Ethereum, Bitcoin's not the whole story. If we really want to hit this thing, we want to play this whole market. If we look over here at Ethereum, there's this thing on CoinMarketCap. It shows you the ROI since it came out. 5,600% return. That's just unbelievable. XRP, 5,400% return. We can go on and on. EOS, 400% return. Now this is some of the, you know, Litecoin, same thing, 1,700% return. A lot of these top 10 projects created multiple millionaires everywhere. You could be next. So the projection here is that if we have a 1,300K Bitcoin, that's going to drive this market somewhere between, I'm expecting to see at least 5 trillion in the next bull market. Now it could be way higher than that. This thing could go to 10 trillion or even 20 trillion. So how much money is out there? It just gives you a visualization of how much money is out there. So up here we got silver, 17 billion. Here's cryptocurrency, just a little blip. But this visualization here shows approximately how much value is in cryptocurrency. And then we have the biggest companies, Microsoft, Facebook. You know, these happen to be in the bullish news looking at cryptocurrency, by the way. The 50 richest people, this represents their wealth, currency in circulation. Gold is about 7.7 trillion. It's a fact right now that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are competing with gold as a store of value. Here's the stock market. Tons of money in the stock market, $73 trillion. Here's the global money supply, 36 trillion. Cryptocurrency is international with no boundaries. Someone in Europe can just as easily buy cryptocurrency as someone in America, as someone in South America. 90 trillion. There's 90 trillion of fiat currency out there. Here's money in real estate. And then we have derivatives. Derivatives is a asset pegged to another asset. 540 trillion in derivatives. A lot of this money could potentially flow into cryptocurrency, and this is huge. I mean, 500 trillion. This is to say that there is a ton of money out there, trillions, hundreds of trillions internationally, that could potentially flow into cryptocurrency. You may take advantage of the next cryptocurrency bull run with bitFORTUNE. bitFORTUNE is created for novice investors and also sophisticated investors. It's a set it and forget it cryptocurrency mutual fund. One of the main benefits of bitFORTUNE is that bitFORTUNE investors are pooling their money together to invest in the cryptocurrency market and get greater diversification in the market. And there's a lot of sophisticated technologies behind the scenes for the bitFORTUNE portfolio. When an investor purchases bitFORTUNE coins on the BitShares exchange, that value is transferred into the bitFORTUNE portfolio. You can read all of the details of the business model of bitFORTUNE. The white paper has a detailed outline of everything explaining the business model of bitFORTUNE. Every single bitFORTUNE token in circulation had to be purchased. That means that the founders of bitFORTUNE coin receive 0 pre-mined coins, and that maintains the integrity of every single coin in circulation. bitFORTUNE right now is at a low price of 20 cents. Recently, we've had the market started to go up, which exactly corresponds to the 4-year cycle theory that we will start to see rises in this market approximately 1 year prior to the Bitcoin halving. So right now the coin is at 20 cents. The total market cap is about over 31,000. Here's the price of the coin. Anyone that bought into bitFORTUNE in the past several months behind us is way up. I think we're up about 60% in the past few months. Here is a glimpse of the bitFORTUNE portfolio. There's about 100 different assets in the bitFORTUNE portfolio. There's a lot of Bitcoin. There's almost 2 Bitcoins right now. There's approximately 100 different cryptocurrencies in the bitFORTUNE portfolio. In summary, regarding the bitFORTUNE holdings section, the bitFORTUNE portfolio is following a macro trend strategy that stretches out over years. Now, the individual investor may sell their tokens at any time. By the way, bitFORTUNE investors have 100% liquidity. A bitFORTUNE investor may sell their tokens on the exchange at any time. The administrative account will buy back the coins from any bitFORTUNE investor. All they have to do is put their sell order on the exchange. You don't have to wait. A bitFORTUNE investor does not have to wait for someone to come along and buy their coins. The administrative account will buy their coins. We are looking to, there's mathematical models for dollar cost averaging every asset that follows the macro trend. This is being monitored on all bitFORTUNE investors' behalf, that when we do go parabolic in the next bull run, which is going to happen, we'll be locking in value to stable coins. Some other technologies behind the scenes for the bitFORTUNE portfolio includes alerts throughout the market. Some alerts include coins in the portfolio that suddenly spike, coins in the market that move dramatically in market cap that could potentially signal a sleeping giant in the market. There's a taxonomy created for BitFortune portfolio explicitly that has researched and categorized over 550 different cryptocurrencies, and that number continues to increase every day. And that allows researching and categorizing this entire market, 2,100 coins out here on CoinMarketCap. These parabolic spikes here, these happen quickly. Now, for BitFortune investors, they don't need to sit at the computer and watch the graph. This whole thing is being done on their behalf. The BitFortune strategy is looking to, in the next bull run, to hit these peaks and lock that value into USD, anticipating the next bear market. And then there is a strategy for the bear market that includes shorting the market. The automated trading is designed to withstand all market conditions. That includes bullish conditions, bearish conditions, and sideways conditions, and build the value of the token by locking in value into Tether. That is a stable coin pegged to the United States dollar. I hope that you found this video interesting, informative, and see the potential of the BitFortune token. If you would like to see a video on a specific topic, please just leave a comment and that will be created for you. Also, be sure to check the description. There'll be links to the BitFortune website and links to the Gemini and Coinbase exchange to get started getting into the cryptocurrency market. We will see you at the apex of the next bull market.